MCH's regional interviews. My name is Rhonda Addison and I'm Executive Director of the Minnesota Coalition for the Homeless. And I'm here with Sandy Hennum from Village of Hope in Bemidji. And we hope this interview will inform and inspire advocates from across the state in advocating to end homelessness. And we're going to jump right into the interviews. And the first question I have for you, Sandy, is how does the need for emergency shelter beds impact you and your community?
It greatly impacts northern Minnesota. The need is so great in northern Minnesota. Homelessness might look a little bit different in northern Minnesota or southern Minnesota than it does in the cities, but it's a real problem. We have 67 families currently on our wait list right now at Village of Hope. And it really is about resources. Every single day we get calls from parents, from families, and they're kind of at their wits' end. And for myself or another advocate to have to say, we don't have room for you right now. It's devastating to be under-resourced in a community where there is so many resources.
So speaking of resources, how does the need for more resources or a lack thereof impact the work that you're able to do? You talked about obviously the need really out being much greater than what you have
Yes.
resources for, but what could you do with more resources, or how does that lack inhibit the work that you do?
Resources really do make all the difference, whether you're an organization, whether you're a single mother, whether you're an individual. Resources is really what is going to, it kind of turns your life around. And as people that work in this field, we're very creative. We've done so much with so little for so long that I think we're all in that mentality, that mindset of we'll just keep going. And collaboration is so important. And I'm so proud of the work that we do in Bemidji with collaboration. But without resources, you're just not going to get to the tipping point. You're not going to get where you need to be without basic beds, without housing, without money to pay staff. You really are behind where we need to be. And so having more resources is going to allow us to be able to look a family in the eye and say, we can help you do this. What are your goals? How can we help you make a better future for your family? And it goes on to those next generations, right? If you have a parent that has enough resources, typically they're going to pass those resources on to their children. And so it sets up a situation where I've had families say to me all the time, I just can't win. And that's what more resources would do, allow more people to move forward.
Thank you. Do you have a message for advocates across Minnesota?
You know, I've been thinking about this a lot as advocates. We sometimes get so tired. And really, advocacy really helps us realize that we're not alone. Seeing your face, having somebody ask me a question, it really helps us all. But it also helps us, we're standing in the gap, right, between people that are trying to survive. And so for us being able to advocate for them, that's what that is, standing in the gap. And so first, you're not alone. And secondly, is that we have the stories of resiliency and heartbreak. And if we can tell those stories for people who can't, we're going to be able to help the decision makers actually have the mindset that they need to really make a decision for the state of Minnesota.
Well, thank you for all your insights and sharing your experience and the community of Bemidji, and sharing that once again, homelessness is a statewide problem in communities across the state. And so thank you for participating in the regional interview, and thank you to those who are tuning in. And a special thanks to Sandy for your great work and all the advocacy you do to lift up this issue across the state.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.